What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros. We're back here again. How are you, Gab and Maui?
Hello, hello.
Okay naman.
Ayos lang.
Walang NBA, walang UAAP, wala na akong mapanood.
Dry
Basketball.
season. Long All-Star break from the NBA. Walang UAAP. So, we're here talking about another interesting debate. So we're gonna have another Boleros roundtable discussion. So last time we talked about the best underdog story, no? So maraming nag-comment. Thank you to all your comments. I think this one we will get a lot of comments and reactions also. You probably saw it in the title already. For today's roundtable discussion, we're going to talk about the best foreign student athlete that has ever played in the UAAP men's basketball tournament. And pag sinabi nating best foreign student athlete, I think it's fair to say na two people come to mind. No? Gab, sino yung dalawang taong yun?
It's obviously Ben Mbala and Ange Kouame. I think that's indisputable. I think some can make an argument, perhaps si Bright Akweti, Chabio, Malik Diouf, but indisputable, it's these two. And it's very interesting, guys, na they're the two indisputably the best foreign student athletes, but they never played against each other. Diba?
Sayang, yun yung sayang.
Interesting part eh.
They missed each other by a year. Diba?
By a year.
Technically,
Munti ka na.
mag-aabot dapat sila. But si Ben left, diba? Sayang, munti ka na. What could have been, no? But siguro also to clarify to everyone, when we were siguro choosing from the pool of foreign student athletes, I think it's fair to say na we chose people that are finished with their careers also. So si Malik, hindi na muna namin siya kinonsider. To be fair to him, since he has one more season to play, hindi natin alam. Malay mo, Malik will average 80 points a game. Tapos, maging best foreign student athlete siya. Malay natin.
Highly unlikely.
Or maging Russell Westbrook siya. Mag-average siyang triple-double every game. But we don't know. But for now, we are choosing between Ben Mbala and Ange Kouame. So, we'll do another round table. We'll ask each person kung sino ang vote nila. And then, we'll discuss and then comment down below what you think. Who you think is the best foreign student athlete? And why? No? Bakit? Kanino kayo kampe? Kay Team Ben Mbala? Kay Team Ange? Or for another person? So this time, let's start with Gab. Because last time we started with Maui. So Gab, para sa'yo, sino ang best for FSA in the UAAP?
Okay, it hurts me to say this, but I have to go with Big Ben Mbala. I love Ange Kouame. Atenista ako. He's brought so much wins to Ateneo. I love Ange Kouame. Pero I can't get over the hump na siya magiging best because I saw Ben Mbala dominate for 2 years in the UAAP. Okay, let's get it out of the way. I think in terms of longevity and number of championships, obviously Ange, that goes to Ange, indisputably, diba?
Mm-hmm.
He played 4 seasons, won 3 championships, won an MVP. But my argument for Ben, and this is how convinced I am that Ben is the best, that he played for LaSalle and I'm still fighting for him. Ben is dominant not just on offense, but also on defense, on both ends of the floor. I believe that you give Ben Mbala the ball and you have an entire offense there. He draws so much attention. You talk about gravity, he's there. He's so strong inside. He may be undersized. What was he, like 6'8"? 6'8" on a good day?
Yeah.
Oh, mga ganun. But he dominated. He dominated bigger and faster opponents than him because he was so strong, and he was not a slouch on defense as well. I think we forget that Ben Mbala is a monster on defense. It's scary to go up against him. Not just he was what small, quote unquote, but he could jump out of the building. Uh, I think the raw statistical numbers go to Ben Mbala as well. We were just looking it up before we went on. He had that I believe the highest statistical points ever recorded in the UAAP in season 81. Was it 81? 80. I think it was 80. 80, yeah. In
80.
season 80, where
Yeah.
when he won his second MVP, he averaged 26 points, 13 rebounds, 1.4 assists, 1.7 steals, and then 2.3 blocks per game. Not even Ange Kwame's MVP season could match up to Ben Mbala's raw statistical numbers. I don't, we don't have advanced statistics here, but I'm sure it is also very close between Ben and Ange Kouame. And in terms of the eye test, also, I have to give it to Ben. Just we've talked about this in the past, Sam. When you saw Ben Mbala play, your only reaction is, why the fuck is he playing in the UAE? Diba? Yun lang talaga eh. Pag napapanood mo si Ben, puta, bakit siya nandito? He's not meant for this league. He's way beyond. And I'm Team Ben Mbala despite how much it hurts to go against Ange. But Ben Mbala is my guy. I think he's the best foreign student athlete. Go. I know the two of you are diehard Athenians. Come on.
Okay. Maui. Do you agree with Gab?
First of all, fun fact lang about Ben Mbala. I think one of the main reasons why he ended up in the Philippines and not sa USA, he was supposed to go Division 1, I think NCAA, but unfortunately, I think similar to what happened to LeBron Lopez, he had issues with his visa to transfer abroad. But yeah, I have to disagree with Gab. I've been very adamant sa whole season namin that this season of Ange Kouame is the redemption tour. You cannot argue Ben Mbala had probably one of the best UAAP seasons in history. Yung season 80 season niya. Ben Mbala, eye test, probably, yeah, he's scary. Nobody wants to go up against him. Sobrang daming na post-ride sa UAAP. But I still gotta give it to my man, Ange Kouame. And the main reason is what Gab said, yung disclaimer ni Gab. It's really longevity. Ben Mbala dominated the UAAP for 2 years. Ange Kouame dominated for 4 years. On all those 4 years, I thought Ateneo should have won the title. Especially since kahit masakit man na natalo Ateneo last year, I really believe that they should have won that title. That would have brought Ateneo to a 5-peat. You could argue that Ateneo was really strong before Ange Kouame, but Ateneo was really playing at another level when Ange Kouame arrived, winning 39 straight games. It's an unfounded, it's a crazy stat. Only the women's basketball NU team could argue that 39 straight is nothing. In the UAAP, you never see teams sweep the season. I think since the Final Four era, only one team sweep the elimination round. That was UE. And they lost to LaSalle during that season. Ateneo went on a season that they literally beat the shit out of everybody and went on a 16-0 run, beating the MVP of that season, Chabio, sa finals. And I think when you talk about Ange Kouame, it's really about his impact on the defensive side. Ateneo was clearly the number one defensive team throughout those 4 years. Probably this season, I think UP was the number one defensive team. But in the finals, Kouame, I don't know, he probably playing on his last leg before he had this knee surgery.
His only leg.
His only leg played spectacularly nung finals. I mean, nobody expected yung another level na pinakita ni Ange Kouame. And I think the dominance of Ange Kouame led to even the Philippines considering him as part of the naturalization pool. So in my I think in my opinion, those 4 years versus those 2 years outweigh yung achievements ni, even if Ben Mbala won 2 MVP awards, I think Kouame leading Ateneo to 39 straight wins. 3 out of 4 championships is out of this world. Unmatched.
Same.
So we have one for Ben Mbala, Gab for Ben, Maui for Ange. For me, this is not as clear cut as our last discussion, as our last roundtable discussion. I think yung last roundtable discussion natin, I can't believe Gab didn't pick UST kasi it was so clear to me na UST talaga yung best
It
underdog
wasn't
story,
clear,
yung Cinderella
man.
story. No. That's just, alam ko. But
Okay.
personally, I couldn't accept it, Gab. Pero ito talaga, we've talked about this topic last week, di ba? Alam natin we were going to talk about this topic. But I keep flip-flopping. Sa totoo lang. Depende sa mood ko. One day, Ben Mbala yung iniisip ko. The other day, Ange Kouame. I wanna pick
Mahirap
Ben.
talaga eh.
Mahirap
Because
to.
talagang wala silang head-to-head matchup na silang dalawa yung nagtapat eh. Yun talaga yung mahirap
It would have been a lot easier if they went head to head, to be honest.
Correct. Let's decide na lang from there. But no? Dito ako nare-realize na hindi talaga, ang naalala ko dito, sobrang out of nowhere na, no? But this is like a LeBron Jordan GOAT conversation na, the stats are this guy is more dominant, pero ito, mas maraming rings. I wanna pick Ben kasi LeBron fan ako and I feel like he's more like the LeBron of this conversation. But I have to go to Ange Kouame on this. So same arguments as Maui. The thing for me is definitely yung stats ni Ben Mbala are out of this world. Minention mo na, Gab, hindi ko memorize, but like baliw, crazy, MVP level talaga. But si Ange was never like that. But I think it's also a factor of Ange was part of like initially a really good team, yung sweep team, and also alam mo naman si Tab, 'di ba? He really likes to distribute the wealth. Kahit si 30 Ravenna will not, achieve Ben Mbala level numbers in an Tab Baldwin system. Or case in point, Dave Ildefonso. Dave was like dominating in NU in terms of scoring, pero dito sa Ateneo barely, not as much as yung NU days niya. So I think, to be fair to Ange, his stats won't be as padded dahil nasa Ateneo siya. Second, in relation to that, I think for me, yung pinagdaanan ni Ange was much, much tougher than what Ben Mbala went through nung yung 2 seasons na yon. I don't remember the other teams, but for some reason, I felt like the 2 teams lang talaga that were, had a championship, a possibility of winning the championship was like Lasal and Ateneo. Maybe an FEU, maybe. Dito sa yung pinagdaanan ni Ange, I feel like is a lot more difficult. And I think the one thing that really cemented yung Ange being the best player was this last season. Kasi to Maui's point, he was playing on one leg. Ateneo was considered this, this question mark of a team. And, people were arguing, diba? We were saying Ateneo was were underdogs. UP was the heavy favorite. And I really don't know how Ange was able to make it through the entire season and really carry this team. Definitely, kung wala si Ange, sobrang goodbye Ateneo nung season na to. And that for me really cemented yung legend of Ange Kouame going up against a better UP team and going up against Malik Diouf, another guy that we are considering as one of the best FSAs. If we were to consider like a third guy, he would probably be somewhere there. Um, and on top of that, other big guys from UP, Henry Ganrinato, Zave Lucero, Carl Tamayo. These are the guys that Ange Kouame had to go up against dun sa struggle niya while playing on one leg. Whereas, yung ending kasi ni Ben wasn't as, as good, di ba? He won the MVP, the stats were amazing, but he lost in the finals and he lost against Isaac Go and Chibueze Ike. I'm sorry, Isaac Go, I love you. You're one of my favorite Ateneo players. Pero like, dapat walang magawa yung Ateneo against that Lasal team. So, I think for me, just the story of like what Ange had to go through and what Ben went through yung 2 years na yon, I have to give the edge to Ange Kouame. But Gab, go ahead. Alam kong like honestly, eto talaga Gab. If whatever you say, I will agree with you. I won't argue with you. Pero UST pa rin yung best underdog story. Sorry.
Balik pa talaga.
Nasingit lang.
Nasingit
lang. I mean, it's hard to, hindi ko naman madidispute na Ange had a better all-around career because of the longevity and all the things he went through. However, if you just isolate the two players, you put, as I said, we said this offline in one of our episodes. You put them on that crap UST team from season 85. Where do you think that UST team will be? I think if you put Ange on that crap UST team and replace Adama Faye, they would probably finish 5-9, probably battle for the 4th spot in the Final Four. You put Ben Mbala on that scrap of a USD team, I'm sure as hell they would have a chance to make the finals and have a winning record. And here's my point, no. You can run the offense through Ben. You can't run the offense through Ange. That's always been my siguro yung Achilles heel ni Ange, no. He can't create his own offense. And I think we've seen this. I think you guys have to agree. Yeah. He tries to post up sometimes, but most of the time it goes nowhere. Most of his points, yung kahit na yung clutch points niya nung game 3 nung this past season were off putbacks, of tip-ins, usually mga dribble handoffs or screen and roll na Malik Diouf just doesn't guard him. So that's most of his offense. Most of his offense has to be created by some other guy on the floor or generated through the system talaga. And si Ben hindi ganun eh. Ben talaga, alam mo yun, bigyan mo lang yung bola, it's as sure as the surest 2 points that you could get on any team. So, yun lang, just put those two side by side in isolation without the careers, without the system that they play, and you put them on a different team. I think you will have very, very far off results, especially with Ben. And yes, I do agree, no, Ange is a monster defensively. I've watched Ange for so many years. Talagang halimaw siya on defense. But I also watched Ben Mbala guard every 5 players in that Ateneo team, from Matt Nieto all the way to Chibueze Ike. Kaya niyang bantayan. Do you remember this,
Dapat
guys?
lang. Dapat lang.
Oh, pero di ba you remember this? Pang si Alden Aya would go with a lineup of what?
Si 30 madalas bantay ni Mbala. I remember that vividly. Yeah.
Pero si Alden Aya would put a lineup, I think, of Baltazar, Abutrater, Santillan, and one other guard, and then Ben as the other guard. He would put up lineups like that because he was so confident in Ben Mbala's skills. He would also do some sets on defense where he would put Ben as the point of attack defender, not as the guy at the back. He would put Ben at the top of the press. crazy how flexible and how crazy Ben Mbala is talaga. He's fast enough to guard smaller guards, just like Ange. But, putting your center at the point of attack of a press or of a half-court trap, that's crazy to me. So, sobrang nababaliw ako na Ben Mbala was being used that way by Coach Alden Ayo. And I had to watch some highlights just to prepare for this and watch some Ben Mbala highlights. Talagang ibang class talaga si Ben Mbala. Just a unicorn. And you talk about the competition, Sam. I do agree, although there were some other big guys in Ben Mbala's time, although not as good. I'm sure meron. But we have to give this to Ben. No? He was the pioneer of the current crop of foreign student athletes. No?
Byproduct din talaga ng entrance si Ben. Just to add to you, Gab, I think yung point mo, I think byproduct din talaga nung Ben Mbala era is the reason why foreign student athletes are a lot more a lot more skilled, a lot more better trained, taller. And I think to Ben Mbala's credit, what he did when he was in the UAAP really led to players like Carl Tamayo, Ziv Lucero, Justin Baltazar, just because you were forced to get a foreign student athlete as a 5, and now you had to have skilled 4s. Hindi na pwede yung big man na, I mean, Isaac Go's the only big, or probably Henry Galinato, aside from Isaac Go's the only big na kaya mo talagang ilaro versus these foreign student athletes. And I think
Gio Chu!
Gio Chu sometimes, probably. But I think yung level of competition was really raised by Ben Mbala. So probably, but it's really arguable that the level of competition during his time wasn't as good as nung time ni Kouame now. Which is why Kouame only won the MVP once, despite Ateneo finishing the eliminations top 1 3 out of the 4 years also.
That's another argument. I think that's more of the system of the UAAP, but yeah.
Tama naman, no, Gab. Again, hard to argue with you on this one. Ben was a game changer. I think yung point mo, maganda yung point mo, no, na Ben can create for himself, Ange Kent. I think factor doon is, I think Ben is really like a guard wing in playing as a center, di ba? So basically, he can play all 5 positions kung gusto niya.
And he was polished already when he came in, di ba?
Right.
Sobrang polished na yung game niya.
Right. And
I mean, he looked fucking old.
And MVP rin naman kasi ng Basketball Without Borders, Ben Mbala.
That's true. And well, just to end my point, si Ange kasi is really a center, no? So especially like with the modern play of basketball now, like less focus on center. So that's a really good point. I guess individually, you can't argue about Ben, to be honest. You can't argue against Ben. I guess for someone like me and Maui, we ended up putting more points on actual achievement. But to be fair, si Ben only had 2 years kasi.
Sa akin,
sayang talaga.
Sa akin ang perfect comparison, Ben Mbala and Ange Kouame is Ben Mbala is Shaq, Ange Kouame is Tim Duncan. Just because Tim Duncan achieved more, but Shaq,
that's really
more
good.
dominant, more scary, definitely, harder to handle, especially sa offensive side. But yeah, I think you guys tell us, what do you think? It's really a hard discussion.
Yeah. So Gab, may sasabihin ka pa ba before I end it?
Wala na.
Okay.
I'm just saying that I love this discussion. I think we should do more of these.
Let us know. On that note, let us know if you enjoyed this discussion. Comment down below what you think. Ben Mbala ka ba? Ange Kouame ka ba? Or you think it's someone else? Tell us why. And if you enjoy, let us know if we should keep doing discussions like this, future topics. If you have any ideas on potential topics for our next roundtable discussion, just let us know. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and share with your friends. Ask your friends to subscribe. Once again, thank you. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.